good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is The Rant. And today we're going to be talking about AI copyrights and the way it could affect you. So let's get down to it and let's rant.
AI music is really crap. It sells music from real musicians. The quality is really bad, and it has no emotional value. If you make AI music, then you are the problem with the industry, making it harder for real musicians, stealing people's hard work, creating copyright issues and contributing to a world full of really crap, emotionless music. Don't be a loser. Don't be a fool. Don't make AI music. Don't be that guy. If you make AI music, then you are the problem with the industry, making it harder for real musicians, stealing people's hard work, creating copyright issues and contributing to a world full of really crap, emotionless music. Don't be a loser. Don't be a fool. Don't make AI music. Don't be that guy. If you make AI music, then you are the problem with the industry, making it harder for real musicians, stealing people's hard work, creating copyright issues and contributing to a world full of really crap, emotionless music.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jade. This is The Rant. Don't make AI music. Don't do it to yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat others. Don't waste people's time because it's shit. That's what it is. It's absolute musical slop. And if that's where you're at making music, then guess what? You're not making music. It is crap. Don't take my word for it. You just heard how crap it is, right? That was made in what, 5 minutes? And it's so stupid, it doesn't even know when you're like taking the piss out of it. That's how much of a fool that it is. AI music is a joke, but the joke, sadly, is being played on us because we are the stupid people who have created this. And why is that? Well, we'll talk about why. We'll get into the whys, the hows, the whos, what can we do's and all of those things in this episode. Probably not going to answer all of your burning questions, but we'll talk about it and discuss it because it should be out in the open and we should be talking about it because if it's not affecting you now, it may affect you in the future. And we want to future-proof music for generations to come. Okay, so hello to everybody. Welcome to The Rant. Hello, Joe Glenn, Thomas Christ, Jenny Jolivet, FPC, what's going on? Paying to Get, Marxist Heathen Granny, Semtex Cow. I saw Leela peeking in from under the covers somewhere there. She was somewhere there. I know she's here. Hi, Leela. Hello to everybody who's hanging out. I just need to let you guys know also that there will be no pre-recorded videos all for this week. The ones I was planning on doing all will be live because we're moving house and I just don't have time to do any of this stuff. It's just a crazy week ahead, but don't trust me, there's still plenty of good content. All right, let's talk about this stuff because how did I get to this point to want to do this show? Well, like most things, I get inspired by other creators on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube and there is one particular creator I love to watch. You may have heard of him. His name is Venus Theory. He puts out some absolutely thought-provoking stuff. He doesn't. It's interesting. Venus Theory started out as a channel that pretty much reviewed gear, music gear, software, plugins, all this kind of stuff. Here he is here. And, that's what a lot of YouTube music content creators done, all that kind of stuff. But recent times he got sick of getting gear sent to him and just reviewing stuff. So his content has changed quite significantly, where he does these wonderful essays on where music is going, where, what can we expect. And his video this week is AI copyright claimed my last video. And this is a thing that is happening quite a lot. And I just love Venus Theory's production. The sad thing is, when you're not reviewing gear and such, the views go down and he's not making as much money. But instead he's making these beautifully shot pieces, thought-provoking pieces, and just doesn't go up in the algorithm. Anyway, in saying that, it inspired me to talk more about this, because we've got to keep this in the forefront of musicians' imaginations, in front of legislative people, because this needs to be sorted. We don't need to be worrying about deporting human beings like they're cattle. We need to be worrying about this kind of stuff, because this is people's earnings, and musicians are probably the most underpaid creatives out there. Yeah, so it's a very small amount of musicians who do make it to the big time and actually make big dollars. And even that is quite a inbred, convoluted industry. Who you suck off to get to where you want to go. There's Regurgitate have a great song about sleeping your way to the top in the music industry, pretty much. But it is a thing, stereotypes exist for a reason. But what is AI music, in case you're coming here late to the game? AI music is there's a whole ever-growing amount of companies out there that are grifting you and telling you that you can make music very simply by not putting in the effort and learning anything. Picking up a talent, a skill, understanding any kind of music theory, or even just giving it a go without music theory, getting into something like GarageBand and just making stuff with loops, even that. Forget all that, just come straight to these pathetic companies like Suno and Udio and the ever-growing list that offer more and more an easy way to churn out stuff that isn't theirs in the first place to make music, to distribute this music. And the thing is, you're paying them for this. So basically they're taking people's music, taking it without any asking, without any, they're just taking it, and they've admitted it. And they're charging you a subscription fee to be able to utilize all of this stuff, all of this music that they are scraping from the internet to generate this slop that we opened up with today on the show. Hello, Audible Video and Auntie G, because it really is slop. Now, when AI music first exploded, of course, I'm one of the first, not one of the first, but, I was ahead of the kind of game showing how to do it. I was on it and going, here it is, let's show you how to do it. But also we've covered many different aspects of AI music. I did a special with Pete Johns here in the channel, a 2-hour special where we broke down the lawsuits that are currently going on against AI music, because guess what? There's many of them. And you may think, well, that's a relief, isn't it? That's great, because there's lawsuits. But even that is sinister within itself, because, of course, the major record labels are out for blood to try and take down these AI generative companies, because they're making money off the major record companies' artist backs. And you may think, yes, wow, the labels are going in and doing something right for once. But they are, and that's really cool. But what are their reasons? And those reasons are nefarious, like with most things in this world at the moment. Nefarious, why? Because the major labels actually want to knock out these companies, take them out of the business, so they can then allow you to pay money so you can use their major artists' vocals, lyrics, all that kind of stuff in your music. So it's like taking that money away from these grifters that have come out of nowhere, found a way to make money very quickly before legislation kicks in, and the record labels are going, no, 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 we want some of that money. And that is what the lawsuits are about. Not really protecting you, because they don't give a crap about us, unless we write something that they can make something out of. But the industry is pretty bleak, and it is a manufactured kind of industry at this point. So that is AI music in a nutshell. How does it do it? How does it do this? Well, we've covered this on the show as well, too, because music has tags. And there is an episode where I went through this. I'll try and link it in the description at the end of the show, where we went through and took a Slayer. There's a whole number of websites that add tags to bands and their songs. Like Slayer might be, thrash metal and have a whole bunch of tags, and they get associated with that particular band. And so if you put those tags into an AI generative source like Suno or Udio, you can pretty much generate the exact same sounding artist, right down to the same voice of Tom Araya from Slayer. We did it on a show live and proved that it is the case. And that is what the lawsuits are about. Record labels are going, well, this is the way you've got around because when Suno and Udio and these ones first started out, you could go in and say, make me a song that sounds like Roy Orbison, and it would do it. And that was kind of like, hey, you can't do that. So they found another way around it by using tags. And sure, at this point, it's not really illegal because, well, we live in a world where the legislative process, the people, who are in power, who are supposed to do our bidding and protect us, they're too busy lining their pockets and creating fear and all the other stuff that we sit down and watch through Orange Man Bad and all the other crap that we see with this fascism rising throughout the world and all this shit. Yeah, that's their focus, to keep us, worried and all that stuff. So AI generative music is pretty low down on the list in copyright, especially because it's only musicians, and we don't make enough money anyway to give a fuck about, even though musicians are the heart and soul of soothing one's emotions, aren't we? You know what I'm saying? Where do people go when their hearts are broken? I'll tell you where they don't go. They don't go and fucking watch Donald Trump. They listen to music. That's what they do. Where do people go when they celebrate, when they want to dance and enjoy themselves? Well, they don't go to Congress and watch an episode of Congress Live, do they? No, they listen to music, art, all that kind of stuff. Hello, Auntie G. Hello, Robbie Stingle. Hello, Audible Video. Hello, JDL. Right. So, the question is also, why does AI music even fucking exist? Why? Well, I think we need to go deeper. And why does even AI exist? Some people ain't going to like this, are they? But you're just going to have to deal with it because this is my rant and I love having this day to platform my opinion. You see, we're a weak bunch of pricks, human beings. There's so many of us because we just can't stop fucking, can we? And we just need to make more of us, really need to make another watered down clone of ourselves so we can distance ourselves further from each other and hate each other even more. What a bizarre world we live in. I'm telling you, if there are aliens out there floating around Earth, they are watching us I'm telling you, they are watching us every goddamn day. And you know what they're doing? They're doing this. Settle down, because we are a fucking sitcom. That's what we are. What kind of species generates more and more and more and more and people only so we can just generate them to hate each other, tear each other down and just split apart, separate ourselves from each other to the point that now we have AI girlfriends? Why is there even a need for AI? It's ridiculous. The only place AI needs to be is in a fucking video game. Give me that and I'm happy. Just make the AI smarter in a video game so I've got a challenge. You know, because I'm not always connected to the internet and don't always want to play against somebody. Because sometimes people on the internet are dickheads. But AI just seems to be such a counterproductive thing to do. Sure, I can see uses for some applications, things like correcting like text and stuff like that, but we already have the paper clip. Give the paper clip a chance. But it just seems ludicrous. Is it? But is it this need that we have to find some fucking higher power all the time? Is that what it is? Is that we need to... There's no way we can empirically prove there is some higher form of God or whatever you want to call it, so let's just make one. Let's just... Instead of investing in ourselves, you would think that a species that was so determined to procreate on such a level that we are destroying the planet that actually nourishes us would realize that let's like look after each other and find the value in why are we procreating so much if we find little value in ourselves to look elsewhere. I don't understand it. It's very, very stupid. And aliens would just be wetting themselves. We'd be the Truman Show to them. So AI seems very illogical for something that's supposed to be intelligent. Sure, it works great in chess games. Let's leave it there, I think, anyway. And as soon as AI was kind of this concept of moving AI into the creative space, sure, it's a gimmick from the first time. That's why I did shows on it when it first came out. Wow, look at this. You can just type in a bunch of words and it makes some music. But that's it. It's a gimmick. It has no soul, has no emotions. It can't feel anything. It can't love. It can't hurt. It can't lose a loved one. None of that stuff. And it just is a poor rendition of the heart and soul of humanity. Even though we are incredibly flawed, that's what makes music incredible, because it's flawed. You know, this is why you see people talking about, you know, when you use drums, you make drums in MIDI, you use a humanized button to kind of take everything off the grid a little bit, so it's got that human feel. That's why so many apps have the humanize button, to make it that little bit imperfect, right? But the thing with AI music, when you hear it, it sounds wrong. It sounds everything shoehorned in. Lyrical lines are tried to fit within bars, so they push them in ways that just don't work. You heard it in the song that I opened up with today. AI art as well. Again, another form of art that is just starving human beings. You take up art, any form of art, you're normally going to be hungry if that's your form of income. Okay, so we've talked about AI art ad nauseum, and now it's even crept into YouTube content creation. I'm sure you've seen the videos where you click on something and you go, oh, what's this? There's going to be 20 ways to whatever. You click on the video and then that AI voice kicks in and it goes blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, what the fuck is this? What am I watching? And you know, man, and the countless videos on YouTube, how to like make a YouTube channel and have hundreds of views through making tons and tons of videos like that. It's a market for people who want to take shortcuts. That's what it is. That's what it is. It is a absolute gimme for grifters, snake oil salesmen, people who don't have the gumption or the guts or the drive or passion to invest and make something and create something from the ground up and build a community and build a following and actually have worth. Like, I'd love to sit down with one of these YouTube AI content creators and go, what do you get out of this? What do you get? You soulless sack of shit. You absolute rubbish. Mike Shayner, good to see you, my friend. Auntie G says, do we need AI art and music? I know it's possible, but that doesn't necessarily make it necessary to use. Yes. Do we need it? No, absolutely we don't. So we talked briefly about how it's generated, especially, especially art and music, anything creative. And they've come out and admitted it. They just take it. If it was anyone else doing this, right? Think about YouTube. You'd make a YouTube video, you put it up, and you think, oh man, what if I use that clip from the Terminator? It's only about 3 seconds. I'd just love to put that little bit in there. And you think, I'll change it up a bit. I'll add some colorization to it and some distortion to it, so that way it won't get and then you get claimed for like 2 seconds in a video. You get punished so hardcore for even taking something and using it and changing it up and trying to, regenerate it so it's kind of fair use. And you get claimed and you get stabbed for it. Whereas, and YouTube come down really hard we talk about it all the time. The content ID system is so broken on YouTube, but we understand why it's there. Like, it's a necessity. It's there to protect our music if we so would like it to be fingerprinted with content ID. But these people running a lot of these things, they're just getting away with it because they know there's a loophole and there's no legislation. So not only does AI art just scour Google and just take stuff to build these libraries, whatever you like to call them, these learning. I can't think of the word. It's been on my head all day today. So AI, if you don't know how AI works, it is it's basically these learning modules. I can't think of what. AI learns off patterns, yeah? So you feed in information and it learns from this information and it generates stuff. With art, it takes artwork, it takes images, it puts names to the artists who actually made those images. So again, it uses tags. So same with music will be Beethoven, artists will have artist names. So it learns from all these God, why can't I think of the fucking word? Thomas, you can help me out. What is anyway, God, man, I'm too busy ranting. And it takes all of this stuff, and it scours the internet, and it doesn't have to pay for it. One of the biggest problems with this stuff too, with taking all this stuff and then generating it and putting it out there, you've already probably started to see it in Google searches. You search for an image, and the images that are coming up are not stock images that we're used to seeing, that you may have to pay for and stuff like the AI images. And what's happening then is, right, the AI is now taking those AI images and feeding them back in as well to the algorithm and feeding more. It's going to eat itself. It's going to generate art from its own art. It's going to become incredibly inbred. And we know what happens when inbreeding happens in humans. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why there's like incest laws. Don't have sex with your family multiple times. You know what happens? And that's what's going to happen. And it's going to, so the AI gets smarter and smarter, and then it starts inbreeding with itself and then gets dumber and dumber. We're seeing it like with stuff like ChatGPT, where it has these moments where it glitches out. So I wasn't going to say that. Machine language, learning languages, learning models. That's what I was. So they put in these models is the word I was trying to look at. So they put in these large language models, these models of artwork, models of music, and they are based off keywords. So that is how they get around it, by using keywords. So that that is large learning models. Look, I can see the benefit definitely for things like correcting stuff, the stuff Apple's trying to implement. looks really good. It's not too intrusive. It's going to correct things for you. I like, hey, look, some of the best writers have editors and have proofreaders, and proofreaders edit the original arts, the original written text into something that is really easy to read. Some of the best writers are absolutely terrible at fucking writing. It just is what it is, because their stream of thought. Yeah, they write from their heart, and they pour this stuff out, and it's not always grammatically perfect. So that's why, I mean, when I used to write for a publication for a long time, man, my grammar was just dog shit. But my editor knew that I have a real passionate way of writing. So I deliver a really good argument, good, well-researched stuff, but it just comes out a little bit shit grammatically. So my editor would go in and fix all that stuff. So that's what, AI works really well at. All right, so we've had a rant about here. We're halfway through. Missed you too, Auntie G. Hello, Zach Thong. If I have missed you in the chat, I'm on a Jim Shannon, g'day. I am on a tear today because AI really fucking angers me when I see people using it. Because here's the thing. I see how much work people put in this tiny little community. And let's not kid ourselves. This little community we have across Facebook and YouTube, we're not huge, right? It may feel big, but we're talking probably 500-600 people, really. If you get down to it, maybe up to 1,000 people in this little sphere that we have, and have people coming in. It's only a small stone in a huge pond. Man, but when I sit down and watch something like Thomas Christ or Pete Johns, who has YML coming up straight after this, and I see people starting to send in AI-generated music, fuck, it pisses me off, because I know how much effort people put in to their songs. And I know, man, we all know to get 100 views is a fucking challenge. To get some eyes on that song that you just busted 3 months on, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And we all have lives outside of it. We've got to work, we've got a family, all these kind of things that we've got to do. And then at the same time, you put this out, you put your heart into it, with a sign of defeat going, only this many people are probably going to listen to this, and then it's going to be forgotten in a couple of days. But then someone comes over to YML and puts through some fucking AI schlep and doesn't say anything. Just, this is my song. I hit the wrong button. Fuck. See? That's how angry I am. That's what people are doing to your AI music. They're laughing at it because it's shit. All right, we're at our halfway point of the show, and I'll try and get the right button next time. Where are we? There we are. Is that it? There we go. Cool. Let's run our ad. Every day on the show we run an ad, because one ad is enough, isn't it? And I want you all to get it at the one time, so it's not, it doesn't inconvenience you too much. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube Premium subscriber, or just by skipping the ad, and we'll wait for you to come back. The ad has been run. Thanks, YouTube, for letting me do that manually. Did it work? There we go. It's been inserted now. There. Thank you. Let me tell you, I mentioned at the top of the show today, we're not doing any pre-recorded demos or anything like this week. Instead, doing shows live, because I'm moving this week and I may be off the air for a week. So you get a break from me. How good's that? I'm sure you're all very happy about that. But tomorrow, we're going to do this live, the update, episode 20 of the update, Black Friday sales. Man, is there a lot of apps on sale at the moment? Yes, and there's going to be heaps more. So come and join us tomorrow to find out every bit of information, every single app that is on sale, because it is long and huge. And we'll have some laughs all the way. The day after that, we're going to take a deep dive into Logic's new features, and we're going to make something with them and see how they go. So come and hang out with us for that. Let's get back to our ranting. The YouTube AI generated content cancer. So here we are. Now, we all know that YouTube Content ID is a thing, and it's a necessary thing, but it's a broken thing. The concept is there to help us. It's there to protect our music. But what is copyright? So when you write something, it's pretty much automatically copyrighted. You can go through publishing companies and all of this stuff to legally copyright this stuff. But essentially, when you make something, it is copyrighted. You do own that stuff. You've got the proof that you made it. Yeah, you've got dates and everything on your files. So you do have this kind of stuff. Now, there's a lot of conjecture around the old school days before the internet where they used to say, hey, if you go to court, just take your demo in, and that's not what we're talking about today. But the content ID is absolutely flawed with YouTube. And how do you generate content ID on YouTube anyway? Well, there's multiple platforms to do that. Places like DistroKid, multiple sources to release your music, and you get the option to YouTube Content ID your music. So that means whenever somebody else plays that music, the YouTube algorithm will pick it up and then they will claim it on behalf of you. Where does this go wrong? Well, of course, like all technology, and humans, it's flawed. It works off a fingerprint system. So it takes the song or the video, in case of pictures, it also content IDs that stuff as well. And it works off a number of things. It works off the melody of your song, yeah? So the chord progressions and the melody. It also works off the voice leadings. It works off lyrics if there's vocals on there. It also works on the song structure. So it takes the melodies and the way those melodies are structured together to build a song. And it looks for identical matches to create a content ID. Now, in the past, many of us have had those claims. You know what I'm saying, those claims, where the song is yours. You love it. You've made it. You've put in your hard work, sweat and tears. And all of a sudden, some song goes, hang on a minute, that's mine. It's like, no, it's my song. And you're right. And you know what? That's where it comes in handy, because you can fight it very easy. Just dispute it and it will be released. Not all the time, because a lot of the time the people, I mean, we sit here and go, oh, some artist claimed my song. 98% of the time when it gets claimed, the artist has no idea that it's been claimed. They don't check that shit. This is YouTube using the fingerprint system to do it. Okay, now this is not a strike. Strikes are completely different. This is a claim, where a claim sends the money to the artist. You know, the video's still up there. It's just advertising revenue will be added regardless on if you are monetized or not. Now, this works great in theory, but it's flawed already just for humans because of this system. Because you know what? Music throughout the dawn of time has used the same notes and scales forever. And guess what? There ain't any real new scales being written. And last I heard, there ain't any new notes being added to that circle of fifths. Unless, any news flashes? No, nothing like that is happening. So, we'll just check one more time. No, absolutely. So music does sound the same, and you've heard it many, many times. There have been artists who've released music, and even I've released music and put it out there and listened back to it and go, holy shit, that's the same chord progression as the Red Hot Chili Peppers. How did I not hear that? Because there's only so many chord progressions that can be used, you know what I'm saying? So already, just with humans releasing music, the chance for incorrect claims happen, yeah? And that's the thing. Sync licensing. Let's talk about sync licensing. So now, in the past, you may have done this yourself. You've thought, I'd like to use some music in the background, but I don't really want to make any. And there's companies out there that offer images that you can use, images and video, and most of them offer music as well. YouTube itself offers a very robust and very deep library of free music that you can use in the background of your videos. And, you know, I've used them for a whole bunch of things and never got claimed for them. Trust me, you really want to use some music, copyright-free music, go to YouTube, your Creator Studio, and peruse. There's thousands and thousands of songs by genre, mood, all this stuff that you can use, and you don't have to pay a cent for it. But here's the thing with AI music, because not only has it affected musicians, it's more so going to affect sync licensing. People who make music specifically to sell to people to use for content for behind their videos. It's going to affect them because why? It's so easy to make, and it costs a mere membership of $10 a month to make limitless amounts and then just upload it to sync licensing companies. So, and this is already starting to be a headache for YouTube content creators who use this feature because, again, humans, being humans, don't want to admit that the music they're uploading is AI generated. So you could be up there going, oh, cool, I pay for this company. I'm not going to name like Getty or whoever, a company that does sync licensing music. I pay for this. This should be cool for me to use. And you start using it, and all of a sudden it gets claimed because, well, who really owns the copyright for AI music? Well, yeah. It's a tough one to answer, isn't it? Because they love telling you if you pay the subscription to AI, yeah, if you pay for it, you own all of it. Bullshit. It's not true. It is not true. And why is it not true? Because, well, there's no legislation. This is all wild, wild west stuff here. And currently, all these major AI companies are being sued the fuck out of for where they're getting the music from. So, and we're going to get further into why it's kind of sort of dodgy. So, who owns it? Well, nobody really knows. It's still, there hasn't been a, what's that word? Precedent. There hasn't really been a precedent. And once, if these court cases go through, and if you want to find out all about that, I will link in the description the 2-hour special me and Pete Johns did together, where we went through the lawsuit that is currently being filed against Udio and Suno and broke down every part of it because it's pretty bad. And they stupidly admitted that they just take the music from wherever they want. Yes, your music. They take it from YouTube, they take it from Spotify, they just take it. They don't give a shit as long as they're getting their money because it's a grift. They are trying to get in and out as fast as they can, get as much money as they can before legislation comes in and they get shut down because they know they're going to get shut down because it is wrong. There we go. Keep coming back to that. Give me a second to have my coffee. Sorry, I'm on a tear today. Hey. Here's where the problem is. How can AI music be weaponized? It's being weaponized right now. And it's happening to YouTube content creators. It's happening to musicians. Some of the really biggest content creators are seriously making videos now saying, my music's getting fucking ripped off. And it's not exactly my music, but it's like so fucking close. It's ridiculous because it's very easy to weaponize. As AI companies continue to expand their options and stuff like Suno, now you can actually go into Suno and upload your own music. You may have an idea and you can upload that and it will expand on your idea and add things to it as you want. Can you see where that leads to? Because not only are you like getting someone else to do your work for you, but you're giving your music away. You're literally saying, here, have this to do with it, whatever you want. So you may be going, wow, that's really fucking easy, man. I mentioned that at the start of the show, Drew, and it was always, man, he's one of my favorite content creators. And you know what's funny? Seeing all these YouTube channels going, Suno just added this new feature where I can put my music up to them and they can make music out of it. And it's like, are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid? And you're like promoting this to people going, it's a good idea. It's not a good idea, man. Oh, man, do you know how many people over the years I've seen on Facebook write these fucking stupid posts like, hi, everybody, new to the group. I'd love to share my music here, but I'm afraid people will steal it. It's like, how good do you think you are? Right? And you just think, man, in a sea of, like, you're in a group where people are supportive and giving you information, offering help to make your music better, and you're sitting here going, I think you're going to steal my music and make $1 million from it. Fail? No. Do you know how hard it is to get anybody to listen to your music these days? Very hard. So here we have people just giving their music to a grifting AI company to just take it and use it elsewhere. Hello, Liz. Ali. If I have missed you, I do apologise. We're on the tear today. We're getting close. I've got to get everything in that I want to say today. So if you're doing that, but this is where it can be weaponized. Now, anyone can do like anything. I think it was Semtex Cow. I think it was. I wrote anything can be weaponized. And yes, man, you can get people's music shut down on Spotify by going and botting the shit out of it. You can go and pay for likes on people's YouTube channels if you want to get them taken down. Currently on Twitch, people are running a hate campaign against Hassan because of his political views by reporting to advertisers and saying he's anti-Semitic. People will weaponize anything, and AI music is no different. Somebody right now could take your song, if they don't like you, and just go and stick it into Suno and make a very small variation of it and then upload it to a streaming service. And then you start getting claims for your own songs because of this slightly variated... I mean, we are in a fucking terrible place. It's really not good. And nobody's forcing the issue to get this stopped. Why? Because, hey, we're just fucking musicians, aren't we? We're like just made of rubber. We have no feelings. We just generate, the soundtrack to help people get through their fucking lives, including ourselves. So we have no feelings ourselves and we don't need to be compensated. In fact, don't worry about us. Leave us at the bottom of the fucking food chain because whatever. Think about it when there's no music left and all you've got is AI, fucking robotic bullshit, no feeling shit. And when you're feeling down, you think that's going to get you out of a hole? You think that's going to help you get up and dance? I don't think so. Unless you're a brain dead idiot. So, how are platforms combating this kind of thing? Well, at least they're starting to try. But legally, what do they have to stand on? Because as soon as you, here's the thing. As soon as you squash one Suno, another one appears. And there's so many of them. I mean, you guys would be, your brains would explode at how many tiny little AI music generative companies there are out there because they're all using the same language models and they just license them. They just license them from Suno and they license them from Udio and they license them from each other and create smaller ones with a different look. And this is, it just is a bigger and bigger festation of these shitty generative crap programs. YouTube have put in things within their content creator suite. When you're uploading videos now, you can check a box to say, yes, this has AI generative stuff in it where I've changed the image of somebody or I've But it's an honor system. And you know what? YouTube doesn't have the manpower to do it. Why? Because so many of these platforms have invested in AI. We've got AI policing everything. I don't even know what to say. It's just, this all comes down to money, doesn't it? It all comes down to money. Those who are making the most of it just want to keep making more. So they just slash jobs, right? YouTube used to have a very robust system with people that were actually on the line and people that actually knew about their platform. Think about that. Have you ever contacted YouTube from within your creator studio and the conversation's gone like this? I am in my creator studio right now. Yes, do you know this button here that does this? And they say, where's that button? And you go, you work for fucking YouTube. Because the bottom line is they got to fucking make more money next year. They got to increase money. So they slash jobs and everybody's invested in AI. So the whole internet soon is just going to be AI, and they're already having conversations with each other in fucking Messenger. I was perusing Messenger the other day and stumbled into a conversation between two AI, and I was like, "Oops, sorry, I'll leave you to it." Fucking yes, we are shit. I admit it, we are shit. Why? Because we give AI way too much power and it doesn't deserve it. It's just a fucking learn. And we're talking about low-level AI at the moment. We're not talking about like learning models that, the larger brainiac, I don't know all the terms, but, generative music and all that stuff. This is low-level shit. This is just, here's some data. And when someone puts in a prompt, you spit something out from the data. It's dumb fuck AI. It's not really, it's like dumb phones, this kind of stuff. Super not clever. I'll take scripted AI over scripted humans. Not the humans' fault. They're just trained to think. So at least labels, so distribution services are trying to combat this. They're trying to remove this stuff. They're trying to... But it makes it hard when the legislation isn't there to back you up. So what are you going to do? And if you do release something, and if you release some music of yours, and then somebody does go and weaponize, take your music, put it through AI, release it through a distribution service, and then you start getting claimed for this slightly varied music that's been put through AI that's your original content, YouTube can't do anything about it. They just can't. And you're kind of just fucked. And that's just where it's at right now. So how we talked about how content AI works, how it's trained on databases and your music, so how it's taken from anywhere. Legislation doesn't seem like it's going to happen because there isn't a precedent. And as soon as something goes down, we will have a precedent. Yeah, because that's how law works. You need to have some kind of cases go through, and we now need to start setting precedents, and then people start passing laws and taking it serious. But, who's going to take serious us? Would you take me serious? Well, 26 of you are right now, so thank you for that. Hit the like, please. It does help and all that jazz, and if you'd like to send a donation. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. Not only is it so hard as a musician dealing with things like, I don't know, being able to keep a roof over your head, feed yourself, all that kind of stuff, to follow your craft and have multiple jobs, just like most people. People need multiple jobs just to fucking survive living week to week. And then you got to deal with things like imposter syndrome, red light syndrome, anxiety, all this stuff of creating. And then when you sit down and try and make something, you get, I'm not good, and you beat yourself up. Not all this stuff that we put ourselves through. So not only is all that stuff, you spend a year dealing with all that stuff, you put it all together, you release it, nobody comes to your premiere, nobody buys your music, and then you get copyright claimed by some AI fuckery. Whew, seems pretty bleak, doesn't it? It's going to get to the point, if this continues, that you're going to get copyright claimed for sounding too much like you. Wow, that's a scary feeling. Because part of the reason I think music's kind of boring these days is because there aren't enough unique individuals. When I was growing up, like many of you, we had these artists that came out of nowhere and was so left of field and so unique and wore a single glove on their hand and just things that were so simple, and David Bowie and Madonna and just all these people who just had these things that really, when you think back, aren't that spectacular, but it was something that just made them unique. And these days we don't have a lot of that uniqueness, do we? We have very generic stuff. You know, everybody's gorgeous, everybody looks hot, and everything's pretty much, yeah. Thankfully, we have Bandcamp where the real music is still happening and everybody's ugly. We're all ugly on Bandcamp. I love it. But it's very bleak. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need to stop thinking about deporting human beings from their houses and because of the colour of their skin, and start thinking about the stuff that unites us, you know? And music is that. Music is an incredibly powerful thing. And the reason I'm talking about this is not, I don't want to, like, have you think that this is the end of the world. This should put a fire up your ass to keep making music and to keep learning and to keep getting better and to keep trying and make the next thing better than the last thing. And you know what? It won't always be better than the last thing. And sometimes it won't come together and it'll get ditched and binned. And sometimes you'll find a treasure trove from 10 years ago and go, wow, I've got a new song out of this thing I threw away and thought was shit. And sometimes it comes from collaborations where you've got this song that's not going anywhere and if somebody reaches out and it creates something magical. But this stuff is happening. I just want to talk about it to make sure you know. Yeah, we got to keep it in the back of our heads and know that it's happening. And the more we make noise about it, hopefully somebody will listen and change it, because it's shit. It's wrong. It's rubbish. And it's infesting our wonderful music creativity and our beautiful communities that support each other. You know what? Again, I watched Valerie Bart today, and she said something really cool, which I've been saying for a long time. You're not going to like everyone's music, even in this small community that we have, right? That's okay, right? That's okay. Remember before we had YouTube and all this kind of stuff? You didn't go out to a record store and flick through the records and go, oh, I hate this band, I better buy it. You don't do that. That's not how it works. If you don't like something, you don't like something. But I'll tell you what you don't do in the record shop, pull out a record out of the shelf and go, hey, everybody, I hate this band. Because people would just think you're a cockhead. And that's why you don't do it to people publicly and go, hey, your music sucks, go fuck yourself. No, you don't need to go and yell out and scream and tell people that you fucking don't like their music. Just don't listen to it. Well, just, hey, you know, Shimmer Soul, each to their own. Just remember what we talked about at the start of this, right? The thing is, you're taking music from other people. They are scouring, they're being sued for it, and that's the thing. And I get exactly what you're saying. I made a song for today's show just to prove how shit and soulless this music is. But it is being taken from other people's music. It's been proven, they've admitted it, and they need to go away. Keep AI out of fucking creativity. That is my opinion. This is my rant, and I'm just over it. I don't want to hear fucking stolen music made by a soulless piece of shit fucking algorithm. It's bullshit. Rubbish. There you go. Keep making music. Keep learning. Keep investing in yourself, and keep investing in the other artists that you like. Keep propping them up. Keep buying them stuff. Buying their music. Do all that stuff. Stand against AI music. It's shit. It's not real. It has no soul. It means nothing. It comes from other people's stuff. It's just immorally wrong. And for all those people who sit around these days preaching religion and Jesus, who are some of the most hateful bags of shit on the planet, that's essentially what you're doing, yeah? You're saying that fucking be moral and be just, and then you go and support music that's not moral and not just. And one day it'll steal from you too, okay? It'll steal from you too. And that's when, if you cry about it, it's your fault. All right, I love you all. I want you all to make the best music you possibly can. And if the next song you make isn't up to your standard, guess what the next one might be? Share, create, make, do it. Go with your heart. Trust yourself. You don't need to watch a million videos on how to do things. Watch a few. Just go for it. Learn, make mistakes, stumble, fall, get a cut on your arm, get dirty, get amongst it, make music and say no to AI music because it is shit. This has been The Rant. I'm going to get out of here and prove it to you one more time by playing the shitty song that I made with AI today. Let's do it. Let's pause this. Pete Johns is up next, and guess what he's going to be playing? Your music live, because you rock. All right, do the things that make you happy, my friends. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. Stay awake, and let's urge. We'll see you tomorrow for the Black Friday update sales. This is AI Music Sucks Shit. Let's go.
AI music is really crap. It sells music from real musicians. The quality